play some Mage Knight. Welcome back. Round 5, start of day 3. Tovak solo Conquest. Replay and analysis. Let's get right to it. Tovak sits upon the embers of a monastery overlooking the blue city, while the white city burns slowly in the background. Will Tovak be able to take out the blue city in this round? Will he need another knight? Let's get into it and find out. First, let's take a look at the offer. Not that it really matters, because as you will notice, Tovak is sitting at a respectable reputation of X, meaning he won't be able to interact with anything anyway, but let's just take a look for completionist's sake. We've got the Fire Golems, Red Cape Monks, Delphana Masters. Sitting in the actions and spells offers, counterattack, pure magic, and stout resolve. If you recall in last video, I mentioned that I felt like I probably would have moved regeneration to the bottom of the advanced actions offer using the control over the offers variant, and in fact I did, otherwise it would be in this space. Down here in our spells, Cure, Demolish, Expose. Again, not really planning on getting any of these cards, but just so you know what was available. Taking a look at our source, we've got green, white, and gold in the source, so a pretty healthy source to begin with. As a reminder, these are the folks that are guarding the blue city. All who have elemental attack are going to be boosted. We've got the fire mages. We're going to be swinging for 8. We've got the monks, who are not affected by the city. Ice catapult and fire catapult, each swinging for a monstrous 11 ice attack and 10 fire attack. Definitely going to need to figure out how to deal with these two. And this was our opening hand. Let's take a gander at the rest of our deck. Key for the siege is definitely Tremor. The only way we're really going to have a chance at these guys is to take them out similarly to how we took out the White City, which is to chop all their armor down and then hopefully use Tovak's signature move and end them with the promise. Other potential key cards, Druidic Staff, might give us the ability to ready a unit, possibly heal. We've got the Ice Golems, was finally our first really legitimate unit that we've added to the fold. So a lot of cards that we need other than Tremor are sitting inside of our deck. So this round is actually going to be pretty straightforward. We largely are going to, there we go, we're largely going to be sitting on this monastery, shaping our hand until we feel we've got enough strength to come in and take this blue city, and hopefully use our remaining round to maximize our points, possibly take out these swamp dragons, maybe take out these hags. Again, we will not be interacting with the city due to our stellar reputation, but maybe there's a way we can increase our points some. Let's take a look at the tactics. We've got Mana Steal, and the wrong moment, am I right? So the only option really available to us is Mana Steal, which we do in fact take. And we make a very questionable move here, and we decide to steal the white die. I think what's going through my head is that, okay, I'm going to need a lot of mana. I've got Mana Draw still in my deck. Maybe the white die will allow me to use the stronger side of Mana Draw, set some dice to something that I need, get me some more tokens. Really what I should have done is take this green die and make sure that I'm stealing something that I know that I can use, something like Tremor. So keep an eye on this die. It doesn't move much during this game. Let's get to it. We are first in the turn order. We discard, march, stamina, and that is all. Goldex takes his first turn, draws up 3 cards, nice and slow, the way we like it. Oh, nope, did in fact draw 4 cards. Still not necessarily getting what I want in my hands yet. I still got my key cards are remaining. Let's update this so that we can all follow along. We did in fact draw Temporal Portal, Mana Draw. So still key cards remaining in our deck. We're gonna just sit here next to the warm campfire of the monastery and continue to shape our hand. We play Sapphire Ring, gain a blue mana token and a blue crystal. We get ourselves a Fame. Now, here's another small play error. I ended up discarding Temporal Portal. But if you look at the card, I actually could have used this blue token, not moved anywhere, and increased my hand size by 2 for the next round. So, or for next turn. So, pro tip, read your cards. I don't think it ends up making that big of a deal, but just thought I'd point it out. Now, here's where this choice gets a little even more ridiculous. I finally draw Mana Draw, to which I then realize, well, it's not super helpful to have Mana Draw to help me fix mana when I'm ultimately trying to get cards in my hand, and I'm not by a keep, and I'm not by a city. So I end up just discarding Mana Draw. And we go ahead and end the turn. Goldex. Still taking it nice and slow. That's what we like to see. Now, just for science, we can see the two cards that we would have drawn, Shield Bash and Rage. Both end up being pretty useful during the siege. Instead, we play Red Crystal Craft, get ourselves a blue crystal and a red token. We crystallize that red into yet another red. And we discard Promise because we will not be influencing anything. A little sad to get rid of the MVP of the game, Promise, and we'll retire to the Hall of Fame. Now, we also... Oh, that's how we do on that turn. So we end our turn, get going to the next one. Goldex takes his turn. Still going relatively slow. We got 9 cards in his hand. We have plenty of time. Now it's looking a little more promising, if you will. Sorry. To assault the city. So we flip motivation to see if maybe we can strengthen our hand a little bit more. We draw Force of Nature and Stamina. And we decide to head on into the city using Swiftness. And look, our reputation is so poor we can't even make it worse. First, we got to deal with all of these attacks, namely the catapults. First up is the fire catapult. And remember, it's swinging for 10. We play Cold Toughness with this blue token. Because we get Ice Block 5 plus 1 for every one of their abilities, which they have 1, 2, 3 of, we are at Ice Block 8. Now reducing his attack down to 2 fire attack. So we need 4 more regular block. We get that by playing the Foresters for 3 block. And Force of Nature, our new shiny advanced action, for a lowly 1 block. But good news is, Fire Catapult is stopped. Next up is the monks. We handle them with Shield Bash plus a blue crystal for 5 block, all that is needed. We stymie the ice catapults with a stamina plus a blue crystal for move 4, reducing our ice catapults down to a 5 ice attack. Plus 2 for the city is 7. The Foresters take one of those wounds for us, leaving 3 attack left, putting 1 wound into our hand. Fire Mages. Swinging for 8, we simply stand in front of those wounds like a champ. Alright, now it's our turn. We play Tremor. Green Crystal. This is going to reduce all of the enemy's armor by 2. Alright, we're going to need a little math help here. Alright. 5 armor for the Fire Mages, minus 2. 5 armor for the monks, 8. Minus 2. Ice Catapult, 6. Minus 2. Fire Catapult, 7. Minus 2. Ending up with a combined fortified fire-resistant armor 14, which is not a problem. We play Ice Golems for Ice Attack 6. Again, they're fire-resistant, so the Ice Attack is still viable. We play Instinct with a red crystal for an additional 4. We are now up to 10. And we play Rage and a red for 14 attack, destroying the blue city and all of its inhabitants. One small correction, we did not use the green crystal, we actually used the green die, and let's check what we did with this. Absolutely nothing. So, end of turn, we will re-roll this to a gold, not that it's going to matter. Alright, sorry for the jump cut, everybody. Little mistake on my part. I actually realized that we did, in fact, level up twice, and I missed during our level up, so I want to make sure that I capture that. So, let's end our turn for real this time, and level up. First, let's put our shields on the city for a second time. And take a look at our potential level up rewards. We've got Night Sharpshooting, I Don't Give a Damn, Glittering Fortune, and then here is our advanced action offer. Taking a look at the map, I'm in fact inside of the blue city. Really the only 2 potential things to do on my last turn are possibly kill the Swamp Dragon or maybe these hags. Looking at the Swamp Dragon, needing 10 block, as well as trying to overcome 9 armor, they're worth 7 fame. So with each wound hitting my score for 2 points, and if I end up taking 3 wounds, losing 6 points, gaining 7, marginal improvement, and obviously anything worse than taking 3 wounds is going to not be in my favor. If I leave from the city to go here to these hills, I'm going to enrage these dragons and get myself in the same situation if I try to go after the cursed hag. So really, the only potential option here is the swamp dragon. I can't interact with the city to possibly give me some additional points there. So taking all that into consideration, I take Knight Sharpshooting as well as Stout Resolve. I figure maybe there'll be a chance I can generate enough ranged. Now, for whatever reason, for an update of this mod, that card comes in too big and doesn't go in my deck correctly for some reason. Small issue, I'm sure he'll get it taken care of. We did, in fact, accomplish the scenario, so Goldix will not get another move, and he is at 9 cards. So, not too shabby. Killing the last city. Beginning of day 3, Goldix did not call into round, has 9 cards left in his deck. Let's go ahead and take our last turn. Draw 2 for the city. Leaving the remainder of my deck being Threaten Tranquility and a Wound. Not too terrible for sitting at the bottom of my deck. And, alright, let's take a look at this Swamp Dragon and see what we can do. So, I know that if I play Druidic Staff and discard a green card, I'm going to be able to take care of these 3 wounds. This is 6 points right here. These are consumed. I've got the Scouts, which can give me 1 siege attack. I've got Concentration Swiftness, which can get me up to 5. That's 6 range. We need 9. So we have 5, 6, 7. Plus, nope, no resistances. So still 2 ranged attack short. All right, well, let's look at how we would block 10. We've got Stout Resolve, got a green. Again, that costs us points to lose that crystal. What would we need to do? Block 3, we would need to discard 7 cards. Maybe we play Concentration, then Stout Resolve. Unfortunately, that's both my green cards. Now I can't heal these 3 wounds. No matter how you cut it, really, I can't figure out how to take care of these Swamp Dragons as well as heal up these 3 wounds. Let me know if you guys see something different. But ultimately, I elected to end the game by playing Druidic Staff, pitching a green card, and healing up 3 wounds. And that's the end of the game, with a reasonably respectable 174 points. Let's take a look. We have one very important thing left to do. Overall, sort of an awkward game. I could definitely tell that I hadn't played Mage Knight for several months. Spent a lot of time around here at this Magical Glade. Spent some more questionable time around this Magical Glade. Again, apologies for my notes being a little sketchy here. I did, in fact, recall that one of the reasons I came to this Magical Glade, not only to try to do this gymnastics to maybe get those Guardian Golems, if you remember, but also was to explore these 2 tiles because I could explore them both from this position. Ended up getting rid of 2 core tiles, which ultimately allowed me to put the city up here. But the city could have very well been down here, which is still pretty co-located with the White City. A little more of an intelligent move than I made it seem during that video. Now, 174 points. How could I have done better? How could I have gotten to 200? 200 is always my goal. The first thing that jumps out to me is definitely my fame. In most of my games, it seems that I get over the 200 mark. I'm in the high 90s, maybe even the low 100s, or at least down here at this level. And being at 72 is pretty low for a fame count. And I didn't kill any of these dragons. I really did not take out any adventure sites and or other mage towers or keeps after I discovered these 2 cities. I simply basically stayed on this keep, armed up, took down the White City, jumped over here, trashed this monastery, armed up, took down the final city. Could I potentially have spent a little more time, maybe killed something over here, maybe ended up maybe killing this the swamp dragon, possibly going down to the village, maybe recruit something, maybe pillage it, take this mage tower. Could I have done something else to up those fame points, or taken a little more time? Maybe if I would have killed more things earlier, I would have had a little more power, and maybe I could have still ended up at the same level of speed with the same amount of time left, taking down the last city, which is simply more fame left. So basically, I did not really interact with any of the core tiles, with the exception of this keep, burning this monastery, and taking down these 2 cities. I also did not interact at all with the 2 cities themselves. Finally, my unit levels were pretty low. I only had 1 3-level unit. I have a wounded level 1 and another one level 1 that didn't even get used. Poor scouts. I only had 1 spell the entire game, which was Tremor from way back here at this Mage Tower. Ended up being an incredibly important card. There's no way I would have been able to take down these 2 cities without it. So there you have it. Tovak, Solo Conquest, 174 points. I think you guys are really going to like the next game with Norowas. very classic Norowas game. My play level is, I think, a little higher than in this one. Hopefully you enjoy this format. It was a lot of fun making it. Looking forward to doing the next one, and we'll see you then.